All right, we're here in Lafitte, Louisiana. We're going on a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. We're looking for gators.
Make me work, make me sweat inside, make me feel like I'm alive. Take this hurt, lady, throw it in my face. Don't let these bones slow you down.
Holy cow! Are you crazy? I'm not holding him.
You wanna hold it?
I do. That one was light. I do.
Oh, that one might. Look at that chopper.
Yeah.
He's a little big to be grabbed. Look at them choppers.
Oh, God.
No sucking on them.
Oh, you are gonna be on the vlog, good buddy.
He's so soft.
I want him real bad.
If I'm loving you wrong, short-changing and receiving, girl, you best be leaving me behind. 'Cause I'm over easy tonight. Oh, oh, hey. Oh, oh, hey. Oh, oh.
Yeah. Disclaimer, we're just validating our parking, I promise. We're not actually playing the one-armed bandits.
The road ahead, it twists and turns, and the sun beats down at.
So it's the last night in New Orleans. We're headed to Biloxi in the morning. Grace and Dan want to play a nice, easy 1-3 game just before we hit the bed. We're not going to stay late. We're just going to play a little bit and then, get to bed early so that we can get on the road to Biloxi. Well, there were two fellas there who were enjoying the free alcohol that Harris provides here in New Orleans. And we end up playing till like 6 in the morning. I need to preface this particular, we're going to call him the wild man, the way that he plays, because otherwise you'll see the moves that I make and to some extent rain delay, and you won't know what's going on. So sometimes he would open for $10 or limp in for $3. And then sometimes he would make it $300 to go preflop or $100, sort of whatever he could grab. He would, put in the pot. So very strange. So kind of adapted a strategy where we would call preflop a lot with even good hands because he wasn't a moron. Like, if he caught on that you had a decent hand, then he would dodge. He could dodge those bullets. He would get out of the way. But if he had no clue, if you were just, kind of stringing him along, he would bet, and I would call. And if you don't believe me, just check it out. Before this game started, Dan and myself were on regular 1-3 games. Grace was actually playing at this table and thought we would enjoy playing with this megalomaniac in the middle of the table. So he is the type of player who likes to be the captain, the table captain. He's a bully. He likes to bet, not the type of player to call off necessarily. So I sort of developed a strategy of just kind of close my eyes and call. It's not the prettiest style of poker, but sometimes it's the right style. In this hand, he makes it 30 to go pre-flop. He's got me well covered. I make the call, and we're going to be heads up. And I have, of course, the ace-10 of spades, and I flop well. I flop top pair. I flop a backdoor flush draw, and there's not too much to be concerned with at the moment until my opponent fires out $180. So firing out 3 times the pot is troublesome, especially when I only have 790 behind. I'm not going to fold. That's out of the question. And I think raising doesn't really accomplish anything because we've already established that he is not going to be the type of player to call it off weak. He is going to be the type of player, though, that could bluff on any number of turn cards. So I elect to make the call for 180, and that puts 420 in the middle, and I have $790 behind. So this is not ideal. Either is the deuce of diamonds on the turn, which he snap shoves all in. So what I didn't know until this game was over is that he actually told his friend, he had whispered to his friend that he hopes that I go all in, and this was on the flop. And now on the turn, he's shoving all in. So this is super annoying. Grace is watching this hand in horror because she actually heard him say that, and she knows after I call 180, I'm probably going to stack off here for my remaining 790. So $2,000 pot, and I want to hear that I got it, and he flips over the nuts. So I don't got it. And, you know, when you play against these type of players, this sometimes happens, you know. Sometimes you're in the penthouse, and sometimes you're in the outhouse. So starting the game off down 1,000, and going to need to rebuy. Wow.
Light throttle. Throttle. Like a 300. Say 300.
I know. So tired. Total or behind? Yeah. Total? Total.
About it.
Kind of makes sense.
I'll make a prediction, man. You're gonna see all 5 cards.
Bold prediction, Cotton. At least I'll have a good idea of how much he has left.
Yeah. About $400, $500. Well, when we need you to count it, you can just knock it over.
It is the worst. Fucking word.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, we'll find out how much it is.
oh man. Absolutely hilarious.
Okay with that, dude.
Oh, we might not be seeing all 5 cards.
Might not be.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We're good. Only 720.
It is pretty funny, actually. If you saw my hand, it's actually funny.
It's not that much more.
I know, that's the problem.
Y'all came here to go?
I've never seen this clown before in my life.
Y'all look alike.
Oh, come on. That's a diss on me.
Y'all look alike.
Or all white people look alike.
You don't even have a diamond. You got like two blackjack. Oh,
Can we soda out of the car? Man, I wish I had that hand.
You can show yours.
You did it. Two blackjacks.
So the very next hand off the deck, I'm going to be dealt a premium set of cards. One of the finest hands that you can get in the game. And now, one thing I want to remind you guys as we go into this hand is that if you gave away the strength of your hand pre-flop, a lot of the time he would shy away. Now, the hand where Dan made it 1,000 to go. Preflop was an outlier because, as it turned out, he had a really good hand, we think. Now, in this hand, the Wild Man makes it $30. Dan calls the $30, and I look down at the King of Hearts and the King of Spades. And again, elect just to call here for the same reason I just told you. If I go in for a traditional 3-bet, then we have to worry that he's going to just duck out of the way. And as much as I like to take Dan's money, I've taken enough of that, and I'd like to take some of this man's too. Now the board comes 10, 5, 6, which is a pretty good board for my hand. And so when the Wild Man fires out the $95, I think it's a pretty straightforward call, and that's what I do. Now the turn card comes to 7, brings in some straight draws. I'm not too concerned about that right now. We also have a backdoor diamond draw to contend with, and we'll deal with that when the time comes. But for right now, he's going to fire out a healthy bet of $200, and with a normal player, that might be troublesome. With this particular player, it could also be troublesome, but we're just going to have to deal with it if it is. So I fire in the $200. My battery died. I told you, I wasn't planning on vlogging this game, so I didn't have anything with me that I needed. The river card, though, comes the 8 of Spades with $684 out there. After my man checks, I make a very cautious check and check behind. He does not expose his hand, so it doesn't look like it would have made any difference even had I bet. But as you will see very shortly, Dan did not like this check because this particular player was very aggressive, and the fact that he's checking here probably means that he has a little bit of something, you know, because if you have nothing and you can't win, usually you only have one other option to win, and that is to bet. So I think Dan's point was if he had nothing, he would have fired out. Here he might have something, you know, something with showdown value. As drunk as he was, like I said, he wasn't, you know, cuckoo. So probably should have made a bet there, might have been called, but the way that he acted after the hand was over, he kind of just, you win, and then I won. Woohoo! That game was crazy. We're going to talk about it on the way back. Sometimes in poker, you are the hammer. And sometimes in poker, you are the nail. And you're looking at a box of nails. The three of us could not beat Drunky McDrunkerson.
He said after he bet the flop, he said, I hope he goes all in. the quad queens guy.
Oh, great.
So like when the flush hit, and I didn't know if that hit you or him.
Oh, not me.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he wanted me to go all in
On the flop.
on the flop. Well, me and Dan had already talked about it, and Dan told me whenever I have a hand, you just have to call him down because that was the way he was like. If not that this is like Dan saying if I have a hand that I'm willing to go with, which I was with this one, that I just call him because then he'll.
Yeah,
he's gonna put it in.
I was just saying like when the diamond hit
Because he was making so many, like if you pick up like well you did actually one time pick up kings. But why did you bet that river?
Yeah, why didn't you bet the river?
I don't remember.
It checked you?
I don't remember what happened.
You
you.
You went check, check, and you flipped up
Yeah.
two kings.
Remember when you had the kings?
I mean, there was a one. You needed
like
a
a one-
9 for a straight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but like if this guy always bet his hands. So if he like has anything, he's always.
Because we don't always play perfectly, Dan.